You deal with a lot of issues in logistics. Can you recall some memories where like this was just an absolute freight nightmare?
Yeah, so the first one, I don't know if it really counts as a freight nightmare, but I was in the service, and so one of the job or the main job that I did in the service was storage and transportation of explosives, and we hear this really loud thump, right? And so we turn and look left, and when somebody was loading a pallet of bombs onto a truck, they didn't drop the forks down far enough. And so the fork pulled the pallet off the truck and it landed off a 3.5 foot bed onto the ground. Luckily, they are fairly safe when it comes to that type of issue. So, the fact that we heard a thump and that wasn't the last thing we heard was a very good sign. But it made us all really think twice about, like, hey, like, what are we actually doing here, and how do we do it as safe as possible?
Wait, you were shipping bombs?
Yeah,
Like,
I was in the military still.
okay.
Yeah.
So you like have seen the military side of logistics
Yeah.
as well. Okay. What can you tell us about the military side of logistics? That's kind of fascinating. That's actually extremely fascinating.
Yeah, for that, it's pretty standard, to be honest. The most, I guess, weird thing that I've seen was a FedEx truck pulling up with rounds on it. I don't know what the parameters for that are, but it was rifle rounds. Nothing crazy. But yeah, it's well, when it comes to the munition side, everything that we do is hazmat, technically. So
Okay.
there are a lot of different regulations that you have to follow. For example, everything has to be block and brace. So once you load the back of a truck, you have to nail 2x4s down into the bed in order to make sure those pallets don't shift. Say, like, you can't have a high explosive or a bomb type of munition stored with bullets, because if that bomb goes off, those bullets become shrapnel and they go flying for miles.
Yeah.
So there's a huge amount of safety regulations involved. But yeah, other than that, it's kind of standard. We use more flatbeds than anything else. But yeah, it's storing stuff, accountability for your product, and loading trucks. So I guess the or the way to describe it that does not sound impressive was I drove a forklift and I counted bullets, right? The more impressive way to describe it would be I was an ammunition technician specialist in the United States Marine Corps, and I dealt with everything that the Marine Corps shot. So if that was out of a plane or out of even the blank rounds or simunition rounds where they're just more or less wax type paintballs, we've moved it through our facilities, and oftentimes we've had to pick up stuff and move it physically. So
It's amazing.